My name's Drew Vanders. I'm in Valheim today in my creative world. I'm going to show you a trick on how to get very, very flat ground. To do this, you might need some stone. You're definitely going to need some wood. And like these big rocks here, they're in the way. So I'm going to remove them and also flatten up the ground. I did the initial flattening of the ground, however, there is some spots that still have divots and unflatness to it. As every single time when you do this, this always happens where there's some spots that are just not flat as you would want it to be. What I do to make it really flat, I grab out a 2-meter wood beam and I get it to like an area that kind of goes inside the ground a little bit, and I place it down, and then I place down a whole bunch of squares over the entire area that I want built. I want flattened, not built. And while you're doing this, you're going to come across spots where you can't place down your wood. So you're going to want to flatten it out a little bit more to be able to can. And if you can't flatten it anymore, you're going to have to use your pickaxe. I placed down all of the squares that I needed to be able to see the levels of where the ground lays at. Like this is deeper down than this part over here. And in some spots it covers the wood as well, which you don't want any of that. You want it all to be exactly flat. Now that you're in this point, you can start hoeing the ground, and eventually you'll find spots that don't rise up enough. And if you want it to be absolutely perfect, you're gonna have to add in a whole bunch of ground there. I know it makes it look really tall, but once you start hoeing it down, it gets it nice down and flat. And you don't want to be standing on the wood when you till the ground. You want to be standing on the actual the door, because then when you're standing on the door, it flattens it to the level that you're standing at. And right over here, you see how it doesn't go up anymore? You hit the raised ground on it, and then you flatten it a whole bunch, and it should fix that. And if it doesn't, you can do it again in a different spot. So I found a spot where I can't hoe the ground anymore, and so this is the kind of spot where you're gonna have to take your pickaxe to be able to get what level you need it to be at. So there will be some spots that are stubborn that you won't be able to get up very easily. You can kind of work it out a little bit, but it's very time consuming, and it costs a lot more stone to be able to get this little blip up to be exactly at the same level as that. And you gotta like hoe around it a little bit just so that it looks more like this over here, so it goes over the wood a little bit and not underneath of it. But now you're able to remove all the wood and have the super flat ground. But it's not like absolutely perfectly flat as if you would put a bubble up to it, but it is much flatter than before. This is what the flattened ground looks like after I took away all the dirt, not the dirt, but the wood. And I used 8 stacks of wood to be able to do this area. However, the wood is all temporary, so you won't actually be using it all up. It won't go away. So you can use it for like making charcoal later. So I dug a little hole so you can get a better look of what the dirt looks like at more eye level, and this is how flat it looks, it's fairly flat for this game. I hope you guys found my video useful. If you did, please leave a like, and it'd be fantastic if you left me a sub sandwich. I'll see you guys next time, and goodbye.